Make sure to be a member on the channel, link is in the description. Hello guys, once again it's Matt and today we have another video. Let's thank our members. So yeah, we have a lot of new members and thank you guys. So Diaf, Saudi Guy, Hubert, Brapa, 1, Chala, RS, Astropub, Silami, Vivi, and Lafush, thank you. And let's get into it. Make sure to subscribe and join our Discord. So today we're going to take a look at, like we did with the F14 and like we did with the MLD, basically a tutorial on how to use the radar on the Viggens, both of the Viggens, so the JA37C, which is the Ajude Viggen, and the AJ37, which is the attacker version, the normal Viggen. Which both they have a very similar radar, but there are some differences in real life and in game. I think they are kind of similar. I think they are basically the same, but still. So yeah, we have the PS37A for the AJ37, and with the JA37C, we have the PS46-A. They are both very effective radars. To be honest, they are probably one of the best radars in the game. Not in range, they have around 70 kilometers of range, which is still worse than the radar like the F14 on range. But in technology and even in on range, actually, it's like the second best radar that we have. And even with the smaller range than the F14, it has one of the best ranges because one of the best radars just because of its technology. It's the most modern, if I'm not mistaken, a radar that we have in game. And yeah, it is just amazing. In real life, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty well, uh, I mean, way better than it is in game. But yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, obviously, it is a normal uh, continuous wave radar, if I'm not mistaken. But it is obviously pulse Doppler. It has the pulse Doppler mode, the search mode, and TWS that I'm going to talk about later, with 120 degrees of lateral scan, with some options of different ways to scan it, like 120 degrees by 8 degrees, and then we have 120 by 4 degrees, then we have 30 degrees with 5 degrees, and then yeah, that's basically it. You can tilt the radar upwards and downwards by 30 degrees, which is pretty amazing. I mean, there are better radars at these, like the radar on the EJ Kai, for example. It's very similar to that. It's not that good. The radars on the F14 and on the MLD, they are way better at doing this. But it's not something that will completely change the way that you play the game and the way that everything is set up with this. Obviously, you use the Skyflash missile, the RB-71, which is a very good missile. It is basically a AIM-7E2, but with a inverted monopulse seeker, so it is one of the most advanced missiles in the game. Just doesn't have the most amount of energy like the AIM-7F, but still very good, and together with the radar, they can be very effective. So let's I mean, we talked a little bit about its range. So basically around 70 kilometers, even though the range itself goes to 300 on the scale there. You're not going to be able to actually detect something at 300 kilometers. It's only 70. So basically, normally I use 100 kilometers or 30 kilometers depending on the map, depending on the situation. We have other modes like the acquire more site mode as well. But first of all, let's talk a little bit about the normal modes. So first of all, we have the normal search mode, obviously a mode that most of the radars, if not all the radars have, which is just normal uh, radar mode that doesn't have any ground filtering or anything like that, which makes it so that it sees the ground clutter. As you see here, it has radar stabilization, so it tries to a certain degree of success depending on how much you roll the aircraft to stabilize the radar, as you see, rolling, and vertically as well, if you point the nose in some directions, as you see. So it will try, even though it has a limit to the gimbal of the stabilized thing. it does help a lot with that. And yeah, it basically will stabilize itself so that you can control it whatever you want it to be, right? And as you see, it has the ground clutter with the normal search mode. Uh, just a normal search mode, you know, it's very, very effective against stuff like the um, notching and stuff like that, which makes it so a very, very type of radar. I mean, a very, very good mode to use when people are getting away from you and stuff like that. As you see here, I'm detecting that target over there pretty easily, and yeah, I can just choose it and it will lock it up. Sorry. And then obviously, as you see here, I'm going to talk a little bit about it here as well. You have the ability to change the direction on what the radar is looking at. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit here right now. So yeah, you know, I did a video on this, but just for you to remember, obviously turn off these two options over here, and then you go to controls, and then you put basically all these QEs and tilt control systems, and then with that you can pause it. With the arrow keys you can turn left and right. With the upward and downwards key on the keyboard you can do this for the range. And if you hold control and upwards and downwards, as you see, the radar tilts downwards and upwards. So it's the best way for me actually to use it. Obviously when you get into dogfights, this might be too much. You are trying to get this target there and you are flying around and stuff. So for less than 10 kilometers I normally just use the normal acquire mode. In this case, if you are in the search mode and you go to acquire, it will maintain the normal mode, not the pulse doppler. As you see, it is getting a lot of ground clutter. It has a 10-kilometer limit. Most of the radars have that limit, so or a similar limit. So yeah. The second mode that we have is the search pulse doppler. Obviously, if you go to acquire mode, as you see, it goes directly to acquire mode pulse doppler. So remember that. So it doesn't have, obviously, doesn't have a ground clutter, but it has the problem with notching and stuff like that. Even though this radar is very, very good and it just doesn't lose lock very easily. You know, it's very, very good. The same controls go for these. The search pulse doppler, as you see, you can change the direction, the tiltness of the radar, and yeah, the distance still has the 300 kilometers, and this will be the normal mode that you normally get into a battle with, you know. So let me try to detect that target. Yeah, see, let's try to lock it. So yeah, it has its problems with notching, but it is pretty alright. And then obviously we have the last mode. The only two aircraft that have this is the F-14 and the Viggen. So it has the TWS, which is a target while scan mode. Basically it's doing a soft lock or not a proper lock on the target. So it is giving a little bit more radiation to see where the target is and give you a little bit of more information about it. But obviously it's not that effective against to use. I mean, it's not effective to use missiles. So for use missiles, you will still need to get a hard lock. As you see here, we got a soft lock. If we had many targets, as I'm going to show in other clips, this is just something that happens. And if I choose the target there, it's a feature, very good feature. It will try to stabilize itself for the aircraft that I selected there. So as much as it can, and then it loses the lock. Okay, so let's try again. Let's turn around this aircraft. So always remember this. Obviously you are using the normal modes here, to just the normal way to actually, you know, left and right and up and down. Then you can put the right scan there and you select the target. It will try to maintain it, stabilize it as much as it can. As you see, it's just maintaining there. You see the radar moving by its own. So it's kind of like when you have a normal lock, you know, it's kind of like when you have this, you know, similar to this, as you see, but it is not properly locking. And this is good because you can actually maintain it looking at a target that you actually want to fire and keep an eye out on the general direction that the target is, and that just helps with just maintaining a good situational awareness. I said that on the F14 video on the tiltness of the radar. It helps a lot with that, so yeah, this is one of the best features of this radar. I know there's a lot of people that don't like this feature, and I don't think you can actually turn off it, but it is just very, very good. As you see, it has its limits. As you see, it's trying to maintain there, and it will do the most amount of job that it can, the best amount of job to do it, but it has its limits. Okay, so once you get a lock, you just click the lock button. Come on. Yeah, there you go. I'm too close. Yeah, let me try to get the other one that it's far away. So yeah, as you see, I chose the target there. So I click the button to lock, and then we just fire the missile and the radar will maintain. Obviously, it's not a Phoenix, so you have to maintain the proper hard lock to get a kill. But it is pretty alright. And where's the splash? Yeah, splash 1. And so this would be the main mode for you to actually, I'm going to show one battle, but yeah, just the main mode that you should use, okay? So just recapping, we have the normal mode, search, you know, good for notching, but has problems with ground clutter. You have the pulse doppler mode, very effective, very good, but it's just a normal pulse doppler. You still have to maintain the lock and stuff like that. It doesn't lock anything. You just have to click it and then it will lock, even though I'm too close here. And then we have the TWS. That helps a lot with maintaining a situation awareness. Let's take a look on the AJ37. And here we have the other radar, the AJ37 one. So it is a tiny bit different. And yeah, a tiny bit on the sense that it's the different name, just because it has the same, as you see, ranges, same detection zones, same vertical scan modes, as you see, and it has the 3 modes that normally the normal one has it as well. So if you lock a target here, it will maintain trying to follow the target, as you see. So yeah, it does help a little bit less because you don't have radar missiles, but you know, it's a thing that it's a different aircraft, it's lower BR, and yeah, I love this aircraft, it's very amazing. It's just that it's problematic sometimes. I really wish he had the custom loadout so that I can carry one gun and one flare pod, but still, amazing aircraft and an amazing radar. And here we have a practical operation of the radar in a match. We are using the Yacht Viggen. And yeah, I normally use the TWS to just keep an eye on where the pack of enemies is. And together with that, see if there is any enemies going a little bit left from my position there. Trying to maintain it, as you see, we have 2 of them there. And trying to maintain the tiltness on its max there, 30. Of course, is doing this automatically, but trying to get it so that it doesn't go past beyond the tilt limit. So yeah, it's pretty amazing radar, to be honest. I think the RB-71 is an amazing missile, but it has its problems, you know, especially in the energy wise. I think in maneuverability obviously is better than especially on stuff like ground clutter, filtering and stuff like that. It's better than the AIM-7F, but it doesn't have the amount of energy that the normal the AIM-7F has. So for example here, a perfect shot, textbook shot, weighted until 20 kilometers, which is a very okay range for this missile. It's not too much, not too little. But because of my friendlies there that were just firing missiles at the guy and stuff like that, he ended up going defensive and he evaded the missile. If he not done that, he was going to be killed by the missile. So as you saw, I maintained a very good situational awareness with the radar, with the TWS, until I had the range that I wanted to fire the missile. So yeah, TWS is amazing. I cannot wait until we have the MiG-29 that actually has that as well. So, and better missiles and everything. So yeah, pretty cool. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Just a quick video. And yeah, make sure to subscribe, click on the like button, tell me in the comments what else you want to see. I'm trying to make as much content as possible, but yeah. I see you guys on the next one, and bye guys.